You're welcome to another lecture series on Lautech Open and Distance Learning Center. This is MKT 318 Public Relations in Organizations. I'll be taking you through study session 3, that is Writing in Public Relations. Effective writing is the essence of the practice of public relations as it is in communication generally. The ability to write and speak well improves your prospects with any employer in your progress and in your career. This is because writing is one of the key survival skills in communication in general and public relations in particular. At the end of this study session, you should be able to explain writing in public relations, discuss the process of writing in public relations, as well as describe the phases of writing in public relations. What is writing in public relations? Writing occupies an important aspect of the work of a public relation practitioner. Hence, writing is a conscious effort, and unlike speaking, which is picked up effortlessly from the environment, writing has to be learned. It involves a formal learning process. Few people are born writers, and writing is very important because it performs several basic communication functions, such as one, it is used to preserve our thoughts, observations, and experiences. It enables us to keep records of what we have done or intend to do in a permanent form. It also serves as a basic skill of communication, and writing takes patience and hard work. The more you write, the better skilled you become. This is true for the adage that says practice makes perfection. Fundamentals of writing. To develop good writing skills, you must master some basic fundamentals, which include developing ideas before writing, preparing a draft, simplicity and clarity, and lastly, aiming at a particular audience. Developing ideas before writing. Writing requires ideas that relate to the reader, engage the reader's attention, concern the reader, and be in the reader's interest. Ideas will help you establish the purpose of communication. 2. Preparing a draft. Every writing, no matter how good, can always be improved with a second look. A draft helps you to organize the ideas before they are put in a final form. The next is simplicity and clarity. These are very important in any writing. The simpler your writing, the more people will understand you. Hence, clarity ensures that the meaning the reader gets is the meaning that the writer intends. In other words, the reader does not have to get the meaning of the message. That is, the reader does not have a message. So every word or paragraph that is superfluous should be eliminated. Last one is aiming at a particular audience. The message must be tailored to reach the target audience. Hence, a writer cannot aim for all audiences. Your message must aim at your specific target. Hence, a writer must identify his or her audience. Knowledge about the audience will help the writer tailor his or her writing to meet their needs. So it sufficiently informs various public about the policies, activities, and future plans of governments, as well as the organizational communication leaders. Factors influencing the growth of public relations. A process is a series of ongoing activities that is designed to achieve an objective or a purpose. The writing process encompasses various activities that include 1. Selecting or finding a subject, determining the purpose, planning the message, researching the topic or generating ideas, organizing the message, executing the plan, and lastly, evaluating the piece. Now, let's take this one after the other. Selecting or finding a subject. Any good writing begins with selecting a good subject. In selecting a subject, we try to get something that is manageable, and we also try to delimitate to select a boundary around that which we shall deal with. Here, we determine the scope of the subject. Next is determining the purpose. You need to know the aim of the writing, what you want to say about the eradication of child labor or women empowerment. In determining the purpose, we select the title. A good title must tell the readers what the writer is dealing with. Next is planning the message. In planning the message, we are trying to be very sure of what our purpose is, what is our goal in the writing exercise. We also take a look at the ideas that we use to achieve our need. Next is researching the topic or generating ideas. We also need to find out information because as mortals we are limited in our knowledge, and in research we gather facts and generate ideas to write, and this is also involved in the research. Next is organizing the message. In organizing the message, you draw an outline of what is to be written, how to articulate the ideas that has been generated, and the headline or the title must capture the essence of what you are writing about. A title must be interesting. You must also think about the readers or your audience or your listener. Hence, the title of your work must connect properly to the body of the piece of writing. Next is the executing the plan. The writer must settle down to put into paper all that he or she has organized based on the objectives of and the purpose of the writing. This process involves the action to actualize the exercise. Lastly, evaluating the piece. This is the final process as it assesses the final product to ensure that the outcome is in line with the expectations of the writer. Educational qualifications required to practice public relations in Nigeria. As earlier explained, good writing is a function of good organization of thought. Good organization follows a defined process. Hence, writing involves a series of phases of activities, both mental and physical. There are various phases or stages that constitute the process of writing. Now let's look at the process briefly. 1. Pre-writing. 2. Writing. 3. Rewriting or editing. And last, the evaluation or product assessment. Now let's take this one after the other. Pre-writing. This stage involves generating and conceiving ideas of what you want to write or research or plan, drawing an outline, setting goals and objectives of your writing. 2 is writing. This has to do with selecting or rejecting words, sentences, paragraphs, and writing units. The next is rewriting or editing. This involves putting finishing touches to your work. It entails checking and correcting the grammatical and other errors. This is the stage where you fine-tune, you smoothen, polish, and edit your material, and it is crucial in producing a well-written material. The last is evaluation of product assessment. This involves going through the whole piece to evaluate if the objective or the purpose of the writing has been achieved. Thank you for listening.